Iggy, Iggy, Iggy. Look, man, we both know that you've got insider information on this year's Build-A-Thon Challenge. Why don't you just make life easy for the both of us and tell us what you know? Look, I understand you don't want to sell out your friends, but hey, between you and me, if you don't give us this information, innocent people might get really hurt. All right, you called my bluff, but seriously, my team and I could really benefit from any information you could give us. Don't you want to help us out? Man, this guy isn't cracking. Francisco, any luck on your end?
We are not getting anything out of this guy either.
Just tell us what you know about Build-A-Thon.
Give it up, Louis. We're in for a long hour.
Nah, mate, he's just not talking.
This isn't working right, Meow. He's far too soft.
You're right. He's never gonna get anything out of this guy. It's our turn.
Let's go.
You're gonna wish you did it my way.
Tell us what you know.
You'll be sorry if you don't.
How'd you like to lose unlimited licensing?
You'll never work with Ignition in this town again!
Nope, it all sucks.
Can't find any good music for the Build-A-Thon intro?
We've got 1 hour to film Derek Chambers on Sunday, and I don't know what kind of music to pair with this scene.
We just need like some epic quest music, like... Oh, here.
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of did that in 2023. Let's see, maybe something dark and mysterious, like, ooh, let's try this one. It's not a freaking melodrama.
Yeah, it also doesn't really fit his character. I mean, he's not a villain. I know exactly what we need.
You're a musician. Can't you write like a bard song?
Yes.
This is the tale of the Build-A-Thon, where competitors battle to prove that they're strong. Ignition and coding and blah 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 blah, and that's why I'm singing this song.
I don't hate it. I think I'm feeling extra pressure this year after what Travis said.
Look here. This is the last year of the Lands of Ignition. It's got to be epic.
What were Kevin's ideas for the video?
You know what this is right here? This is a zip line. Me coming down onto stage from the ceiling. Is that too much to ask?
Well, that's not helpful. Oh my gosh, we have not even mentioned that BW Design Group and Safe Group Automation are in this thing.
Arnell, go get us some sound bites.
BW Design Group, are you excited to be here again?
Absolutely.
Safe Group Automation, are you glad to be here today?
Yes.
Cool, yes.
I guess now all we need is an outro.
We still have to edit Ken's part.
Okay, you know what? Build-A-Thon starting. We don't have time for this. Here's what we're gonna do. And Kent was there too. Cue outro.
What's a guy got to do to get a decent intro these days? But welcome to the Build-a-thon. Thank you for your patience today. We know we kept you waiting, but hopefully that's just building your anticipation. But we're gonna try to go through this pretty quick to try to make up a little bit of time. But you know, I'm Kent Melville, got to do my own intro, Director of Sales Engineering, and this is the Build-a-thon, the premier event in the world of competitive SCADA, and we have an incredible show for you today. And we have two amazing competitors who have been competing, and they have had quite the journey to get here, and we do have a video to walk you through that journey. Enjoy.
Build-a-thon is a competition where our premier integrators face off using their ignition prowess to obtain the coveted orange jackets of victory.
This year's Build-a-thon kicked off the summer with the Elimination Challenge, which was live streamed to the Ignition community around the world. It was our great pleasure to host 27 of our esteemed premier integrators for the competition.
Challengers participated from around the world and worked through 10 challenges that were imagined and developed by Inductive Automation's very own application engineering team. Each of these challenges, structured as games of glory, tested the team's knowledge and expertise in ignition. Some of the obstacles our brave competitors faced were CSS, scripting, the historian, the translation manager, and giant spiders?
While there were many worthy challengers, only the first 2 teams to complete all 10 challenges were crowned our finalists. Finally, that brings us to today, where Safe Group Automation and BW Design Group will face off in a battle of guts, glory, and green jackets.
Well, as you can see, we've got some pretty amazing competitors this year. And I have to say, Iggy, what are you doing here? I thought we had this all settled earlier. I really can't have you messing this up for me. What was that? Oh, no. This is my show. You already made me look bad in front of Travis and Kevin in the interrogation. I can't have any surprises. What? Oh no, I hate to do this, everybody, but I guess to help get to the bottom of it, please help me welcome Kevin and Travis.
What's up, everybody?
Hey. Couldn't be more excited to be here at Build-a-thon 2025.
This is the event you were all waiting for, right?
Yeah. All right, guys, it's okay. Iggy is being suspicious.
Ken, he doesn't look suspicious to me.
You know, it doesn't move. I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah, I think we're fine, Kent. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Nothing? You sure? Because he looks suspicious to me.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Oh no. What's happening? Oh no. Are you guys kidding me? Oh, what is this?
Wow. Kent, this might be the first time you've ever heard me say this, but you were right.
It really pains me to acknowledge that he was right this time. I guess, you know, you made sense.
I see what he did there. But I mean, I really think that we must have got that on recording, right? Finally, we have recorded the message. You guys acknowledged how great I am. But I guess that means times can change.
Come on, Kent.
You know, I'm pretty sure the power just went out. We didn't get that on video. I think it's probably not a coincidence.
You like that pun? Are you kidding me? Well, we confiscated the coin from Iggy earlier, but now there's a whole bunch of coins. Iggy must not be working alone. He must be part of a larger operation, but who's he working with? Wait a second. A wand. I think I know. You know what? I think in that intro video, it wasn't that I was forgotten. I think I've been replaced. I got to go check that footage, but while I'm gone, can you guys run the operation without me?
Sure, no problem.
All right, thanks.
We got this.
All right. While he goes and takes care of that, who's ready to make this show on the road? Huh?
Yeah.
So 2 quick announcements. Number 1, there will be some flashing lights throughout this presentation. Anybody that's sensitive to it, I want you to be aware. And number 2, Kevin, please be careful of that cable back there.
You mean the one you tripped over earlier?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
We're going to reveal our panels. You guys ready?
All right. We give
you anodizers.
All right, these were built by our partners in the Build-a-thon, Opto22.
So to give you more information about how these panels are built and what they're for, please help me welcome to the stage our very own Terry and Benson from Opto22.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's good to be here again. Some of you on your way in, you may have picked up some of Iggy's challenge coins, right? And so my job this year was to build these challenge coin anodizing machines, right? These things are just little pieces of orange metal, but they aren't just built that way, right? They're manufactured and colored separately with a process called anodization. So that's what we built this year, is these anodizing machines. Now, typically, Opto designs and manufactures automation hardware and software for control and automation, things like this Groove Epic here. But when it comes to something like the Build-a-thon, we take on a different role. We take on the role of OEM machine designers. And so this time our task was to build this machine. So what's going on here? Well, we have 2 main dimensions of movement here. So we have the main hoist here that raises and lowers the payload to be anodized. That's going to be our challenge coin. We also have a travel motor here to move it left and right. In addition to that, we have conductive touch pads at the start and end, as well as at the bottom of each vat, so we know when the coin has touched all the way down, and a linear encoder so we know the left-right position, right? Lots of input for these guys. This allows the machine to move the payload between the red, green, and blue colored vats and dip them in different combinations to alter the color of the coin. All of that processing is handled on the control strategy running on the Epic, so all it requires from our customers, from our contestants here today, is they choose the recipe for the color they want, they execute that recipe, and then the rest is handled by this control program. That also gives them some output that they can read in. So, they've got things like the current recipe that's selected, the step that they're on in that recipe, the position data, power and energy data, all that kind of thing. And so how that data gets into their projects, I'll have Benson explain to you guys. So.
Great, thanks Terry. So yes, my role in the machine design process was to make sure these machines were easy to use, secure, and Industry 4.0 ready. So I'm going to use the web-based tools that are built into Epic along with its integrated software to do just that. So first and foremost, I wanted to make sure the machine was secure. So I used account management and a device firewall to only permit needs-based access. And then I enabled the VPN connection in the device, a VPN client, so that I could support our contestants during their builds. So once that was done, I've got Terry's application, his control strategy. I used Ignition Edge to connect to that control strategy, pull in all those tags right into the system. And then I used Ignition Designer to model and contextualize all those control and status tags into structured UDTs. Then I used MQTT transmission built into the system to publish those structured UDTs directly to an MQTT broker. Then the contestants used MQTT Engine on their gateways to ingest all that data so they could automate and control their machines. Now, the other cool thing about doing it that way is these machines are now UNS ready, and they can scale and bring their application data. They are the single source of truth in their enterprise applications. Now, finally, I enabled the Enterprise Administration Management module right on the system, that's EAM, and this allowed the contestants to remotely deploy HMI screens right to the Epic. So I can see that screen right here on the front face. I can also see it on an HDMI connected monitor, or on devices like these, any network connected system. So ultimately, with a single unifying system, I'm controlling the machine, I'm securing it, I'm providing local visualization, and I'm sharing its data with any application that needs it. Pretty slick. Let's see what these contestants built with this Epic platform. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really appreciate it.
I gotta say, they put a lot of hard work into building these panels, and they do that every year for us, and we're really excited about these. So thank you again, Opto22.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Now, next, let's take a look at what our teams were tasked to build using these anodizer machines from Opto22.
This year's Build-A-thon challenge is to build an ignition project to visualize and control a coin anodizing process.
The process consists of a crane with a hoist that holds a coin that can be dipped into one of 3 vats to achieve the desired final anodizing color.
The vats represent RGB, one for red, one for green, and one for blue. There are only 7 possible color combinations: red, green, blue, orange,
supposed to be yellow, but ignition orange is clearly better,
teal, purple, and white.
The panels have a local Groove Epic PLC provided by Opto22.
The PLC program and data have already been designed. Each panel is modeled as a single UDT that is published to a cloud MQTT server over MQTT Sparkplug from Ignition Edge running on the Groove Epic PLC.
Your task is to develop 2 ignition projects, a local HMI running on the front panel of the Groove Epic and Ignition Edge, and a main visualization and control application running in Ignition on the cloud.
For the main application, you need to be able to receive orders from the business that you can queue and execute. Lastly, you need to develop a DevOps process for building the applications in a development environment and releasing them to production when ready.
This challenge gives you an opportunity to show off your ignition skills, have fun, and be creative.
Well, I didn't find very much in my footage review. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Yeah? Yeah? Still no? All right. Oh, maybe I'll save my coin puns for the skate arcade. But it is time to bring out our competitors. We're very excited to have them here so they can show off the projects they've built for this incredible challenge. First up, we'd like to invite out, all the way from Australia, Safe Group Automation. Woo! I think you guys look even cooler in person, but that's a pretty awesome video. But welcome. Thanks for making the trip all the way out here. But please tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yeah, so we're Safe Group Automation. We're a control integrator based in Australia. We actually have a bunch of offices all around the country as well. We love ignition, and we're super stoked to be here. We will just say that we do apologize to begin with. We do have pretty silly accents. So if you do need to use Google Translate, we will not be offended. Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, we're excited to have you here. Give it up for Safe Group Automation, everybody. All right, next up, our second competitor. Please help me welcome BW Design Group. Well, no, you guys look better in the video. But yes, guys, thank you so much for being here again. Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yeah, BW Design Group is a fully vertically integrated architectural engineering firm that also does a lot of control systems integration. We're really strong believers in ignition and pushing the industry forward, and we're looking to see what we can do to help level things up a little bit.
Oh, sounds great. Perfect. Give it up for Design Group. Woo! All right, well, 2 great teams, but only one can be the winner. How do we determine who the winner is going to be? Well, it's not up to us, it's up to you. You're gonna be voting for the winner today, and how do you do that? You're gonna do that via the ICC app. And so we're gonna practice that real quick so that you're ready to vote later on. So go ahead and pull out your phones just for a moment, and you put them away. I know we're a better show than any game on your phone, but pull them out now. And there on your phone, go to the IA Events app, come to this ICC event. You're gonna go to agenda, come to the last day, go down to the last session, the Build-a-thon, and if you go down there, you should see a poll. And if you go to take that poll, we have a practice poll for you. This is not to vote on who the winner is going to be. This is just for you to let us know a little bit about your favorite part of the Build-a-thon. So please go and pick any of them. No wrong answers here. You know, go ahead and pick your favorite part of the Build-a-thon. But while they're doing that, Travis and Kevin, I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think is going to be their favorite part?
I don't know, man. I'm really, we'll see what they choose, I guess.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the results. I know it takes a second for it to get up there, but I'm very excited about this. I haven't seen the poll questions yet. So.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. All right, well, whenever we're ready, here we go. Oh, it looks like the top choice was Green Jackets, barely beating out #Team Kent. Yeah. And in third, Kent.
Kent, these are all about you, man.
Well, I mean, I can't give the people what they want. It's all about Kent. #Team Kent, right? Yeah, woo! That's right.
All right. Yep.
All right, well, now you know how to vote. We'll be doing another poll at the very end where you get to vote for one of these teams. You can't vote for me. I know you want to, but you get a pick between these two incredible teams. So with that all being said, let us go ahead and get started here. There's going to be a series of presentations that they're going to be doing, and we need to figure out who is going to go first and who's going to go second. And in true Build-a-thon fashion, we are going to do a coin flip. And so we'd like to invite one member from each team to come for the coin flip. Now, it's worth noting, the first year that we did a integrator Build-a-thon, it was between Flexware and Vertec. And we've been using the same coin that we created that year. And so instead of picking heads or tails, since my pun fell flat earlier, instead you'll be picking Flexware or Vertec. And since you guys came the farthest, you get to call it. And so what do you think, Vertec or Flexware?
Let's go Flexware.
All right, he's going Flexware. I'm going to flip it, catch, flip over on my hand, whatever's on top. We'll get to choose if they want to go first or second. Don't drop it, Kent. You got this. You got this. I can't see anything in the light. It is Vertec. Would you like to go first or second?
I think we're the home team, so I think we'll go second.
All right. Well, then, Safe Group is going to be kicking it off.
Thank you.
All right. Well, go ahead and take your seats, guys. And so at this point, we'd like to tell you a little bit about the first presentation. And so, but with that, we'll let you guys go ahead and get ready. In fact, can I have your first presenter come on up and join me here on center stage? You got to introduce the company a little bit earlier, but the people want to know you. And so tell us who you are and what you do for Safe Group.
Yeah, cool. So I'm a lead control engineer at Safe Group. I've been there for about 6 years, or just over 6 years. Probably my biggest achievement there would be SGA's table tennis comp. I'm the reigning champion.
Oh, nice.
Just so everyone's aware.
He's a competitor. Well, awesome. Well, we're excited to have you leading off your team with this first presentation. And this presentation is all about introducing you to the project that you built and how it meets the requirements that you saw in that video earlier. And so we are excited to see what you have built. And so go ahead and take it away. We'd love to see it.
Awesome. Thank you.
While he's getting ready, I do want to say, the reason why you all had to wait out there for a long time before coming in is that we were having an issue where we were seeing a flicker when we were sharing the screen of their laptops. And we wanted to be able to show off their projects as best as possible. And so we were trying to get rid of the flicker. We were unsuccessful. So you may see a flicker. That is not their project. That is us. Don't judge them based on the flicker. But please enjoy this presentation.
Cool. Thank you. So I wanted to start this presentation just talking about how we started our design and how we were actually going to attack this challenge. So the first thing we pretty much went to work on, that we were agreeing on, was our overview page. We thought this was going to be our most important aspect. To be honest, Opto had done an awesome job with this rig. And so we basically wanted to, the best way that we could, replicate this in the perspective window. So that's what we see here. We've basically got a model of the rig that we've designed in perspective that will just follow. The coin will move where it goes and it'll change colors as it moves along the vats. We'll get to see that a bit later when we actually get to run this thing. So that's our first section. I might just shrink that. That's our first section up top here. A second part, we have a bit of a summary of the color that we're about to run. So if we would select purple, it's going to tell us that we're going to use the red and blue vat. So yeah, that just gives the person using it just an idea of what's about to happen. Down in the bottom, we just have some pretty simple diagnostics information about the machine as it's running. On the right, as we saw before, we have our controls. We've gone for a minimalist, very simple approach where somebody can pick it up and basically just use this from the get-go. So just as you saw before, you just select the color that you want to use and click Start Mixing to start the whole process. We also have our home and our light off buttons. I might just select home to see that. A little bit of movement on that. Everything's looking good. As we can see, our crane does track the coin and its journey along the hoist. Down in the bottom right, we do have our queue, which we'll talk about a bit later. So one thing we did want to touch on was really the new component in 8.3 that we were able to build with. So in our overview, pretty much everything in that was built with the new drawing tool, which we're just going to show just a quick example of that tool in Designer. Oh, that's the wrong one. We didn't build that. We can edit that out, right? So yeah, this is one of the examples that we have that was just building the coin. So being able to just, well, that's a bit hard to see. Be able to just build the different components within that, and then we can then tie properties for those components to tag properties and make everything dynamic. Was something that we found really good and easy throughout the challenge, thanks to the new drawing tool. But anyway, enough of that. We'll get back to the interesting part and actually run this and see how it looks. So I'm just going to run the purple. It did change to red when it's in the vat. Yeah, we're pretty happy with that too. Yeah, so on our next, another thing we have is actually job history. So we want to know what jobs have actually run on this device, whether it comes in as a local job or if it's actually through an order. So we just get a list of everything come through from our job history list. From there, we're actually able to look at the, analyze the data. So the first thing we do is use a pie or a donut chart to do the color distribution so that we can tell what's the majority of the colors that we're actually running on this system. The one down the bottom also tells us who our major customers are. So we can see here the inductive automation is the majority of our customers, which is coincidence. And these charts are actually built with Apex charts that we got from the Amber module as well. Now we need to look at the actual performance of the machine. So here we have like basic statistics such as total jobs, total runtime, and total power. Next to that, we then have average job time, runtime, so about 28 seconds, and then how much power that consumed as well. Down the bottom, this is where we actually tie in the jobs. So each of those bar charts is a job, and the color that the coin was. The the height of it is the duration, and then the green in the background is how much power was consumed. So it just gives you a visualization of how the jobs are actually running. Lastly, we have our events audit, because you always need an events audit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
Well, incredible job. It was fun to see that project. Incredible to think that you guys just put that together in 2 days this week. But really fun to see. Can you beat it? Have your first presenter please come up. I like you guys are tag teaming here, so you got one operator in the back, one presenting, but we got to hear from the team. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, Alex Spikesma, senior software engineer from Design Group. I specialize in MES and business applications.
Very nice. Well, we're excited to see the project you built, so take it away.
All right. So we're doing a little different. We got Keith over here driving. IA was tired of Keith talking, so they made all of us talk instead. We already spent 45 listening to him. So first thing, we're going to walk a little bit through what our development process was, how we got here, then we're going to review our actual app. So we started the project with our typical process, our kind of developer best practices. So we all work locally, so we downloaded a copy of our example template repository. Each spun that up on our local environments, then use our typical GitOps fashion of merge, commit, review PRs, make sure Christian didn't delete everything, and then move that data through the process. So it was really nice working in 8.3. If I made config changes or Christian made config changes, we could just kind of seamlessly merge that together. Another tool that we used was, we're a little bit of a divas. We're used to like a certain kind of lifestyle. We use Tailwind very, very often. And so we couldn't use our fancy module for 8.1, so we used the Tailwind CLI and integrated that into the project. So with that, I think we can show what we built. As you can see, completely different concept. So first thing we got, let's home it. This is, so we're just using some CSS to translate the position of the motor and try to give us some feedback from the operator. So this is kind of our cloud-side application, so it's nice to be able to see what's happening in real time the best that we can. On the left-hand side, we've got our manual controls. So to make it easy, save some time, let's just run a red order here. So we're going to execute that, select our red recipe, and execute that order. Get some nice screen tearing as we see it come through the process. Less enthusiasm for red, apparently. Sorry. All right, there we go. All right, so that's our manual control of the system. Second tab we have up here at the top of the app is power statistics. So we got a few things here, just some graphs, again, Apex charts. Not that we don't love your charting module, but Apex is fantastic. Just a few stats on the left-hand side with some cards for quick, typical viewpoints. Third tab is our line performance. So this is showing different work orders that we're executing and our demand and our backlog. So a couple data points is how many orders have we executed in the last 24 hours. Right now we're not doing so good at 0. Success rate's pretty good, 82%. And we have a backlog of 101 orders. Our duration queue is a little lacking, so we got to get on that. So that's it.
Awesome, perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, 2 incredible projects. You've now kind of got to see a little bit about what the teams did. We are going to do a second presentation now. And in this one, throughout the week, they have been using DevOps to build this project and deploy this project. And we want to see a little bit about their DevOps process and see if they could actually deploy an additional feature live right now so that you can see that DevOps process in action. And so if you guys have any work you need to do on the laptop to get ready for that, feel free to do that now. Real quick, I do want to say every year at the Build-a-thon, it is my privilege to announce the winners of the Ignition Exchange Challenge, which is one of my favorites. It's a very exciting thing that we do every year.
There's a lot of great resources up there. In fact, you know, we've hit a milestone, right, Kevin?
Yeah, we have. We just crossed 500 resources on the Exchange.
Well, we have a whole committee that goes and reviews all the resources that are uploaded to the Exchange over the last year, and we pick which ones we think are the best. And it is hard. There are a lot of good resources. So we have a few honorable mention categories that we're just going to kind of throw up for you to see, but all of these are available on the Ignition Exchange. You can go to our website, or you can go to inductiveautomation.com/exchange. You can view all these. We won't take too long today explaining them, but the first category that we noticed as an honorable mention was devices. We love seeing all these different resources that show how you can connect to different devices, get that data out, have templates and faceplates and all the things that you'd want to interact with those. So some incredible resources in that category. The next category is scheduling, which this one was surprising. We've had a lot of device resources in the past, but we're seeing a theme of a lot of people wanting to have calendars and date entry fields and all these kind of things. And there really are some very polished resources that made it onto the Exchange this year. You should go check them out. The third honorable mention category is games. It turns out a lot of people like to build games in Ignition. You might have noticed that in the SCADA arcade, but we had some great ones on the Exchange. If you're looking to kill some time, this is a great way to do it. But without further ado, I do want to announce our 3 winners. And so in third place, we have the Ignition Backup Utility Using Perspective by Pradeep. And this really helps you quickly take backups. It gives you a great interface all inside Ignition. Definitely something you should go and check out. In second place, we had the customizable auto-scaling gauges for perspective, UDT, included by Steve. Yes, absolutely, this is a great resource. If you go in and check it out, there's a lot of properties in here that you can come in to modify and make it look exactly how you want, very polished. And what's really cool about this one is he took a gauge that had been published by Ashwin, another contributor on the Exchange, and had reached out to him and collaborated to take an existing resource and add to it. And we love seeing that. We love seeing the community working together to share incredible resources. But without further ado, first place goes to Jandas by Andrew. And give it up for all these competitors, but especially first place, Andrew, absolutely. So what this is many of you love data, and maybe you wanted to use Pandas in the past, which is a Python library, not available in Jython until now. He went and wrote a portion of Pandas all inside Ignition scripting so that you can use it inside your Ignition applications. It's very cool. You should definitely go check it out. All right, but let's get to this second presentation. And so we're going in the same order. So Safe Group, send up your second presenter. Give it up for Safe Group, everybody. Yeah. So please introduce yourself.
Yep, so I'm Sean from Safe Group Automation. I've been at Safe Group in the Adelaide office for about 2 years. So I've been working with Ignition since the beginning, but I'm a bit privileged in that I'm only doing the UI stuff, so I get to leave the dirty work of the PLCs to someone else. So.
There you go. Keep it all in Ignition. That's what we want to hear. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, we're excited to see your DevOps process and what you've held back to show us as a new feature. So take it away.
Cool. All right, so what you've seen so far is basically our production build. So when we've been in Ignition, And during the build-a-thon, we've actually had both production here, and then we have the development build here. So you might notice there's two little things up here, which you have in development, but I haven't actually pushed that out to production yet. So both the production and the dev are both running local Git and are being pushed up to GitLab. So in here, you can see that we have two branches. We have our main branch and our dev branch. And basically, we have a very streamlined, simple process for basically committing some stuff between two gateways. So you can see using the JSON format for 8.3, we have our projects. So we have our two projects here. And we also have some tag information. So we have tags that are syncing between both dev and production. And so if we make changes to something, we can then do a pull, and then it can update onto the gateways there. So if I go back, and I can go into the dev, we can see there's another functionality here that we haven't actually pushed to dev. So we can have a look here. You can see some diff here. So basically just saying, yep, there's some new tags that have been added for the gateway. And then there's also some views here as well, which can be added in once we've pushed it over. So I can go over here, make a new merge request. And we're basically saying we want to go from dev to main. So we're adding this new commit over, and we want to compare that and allow that to go through. So I can just go through here, and I can create a merge request. So you should see that it's happy with our changes, that it doesn't actually impact anything else. We can then press merge. All right, so nothing's really happened yet because this is all just on GitLab. So GitLab now has the actual information on there, but our gateways still don't know anything about that yet. So we can go into our production build, and within our local Git repository here, we can do a Git pull. You can see there, some changes have been made. I will now just do a quick restart of the actual gateway itself here, just so we can actually see the changes reflected in the gateway. All right, so while we wait for that to start back up, some keen eyes might have noticed that our rig is a little bit different. We have installed a camera onto our thing here. So I have been doing some quality control stuff, and they've seen that there's potentially some contamination within our actual vats. So we've gone and we've added in a camera so we can actually see potentially what's going on inside the actual thing. So just as a quick little note here, the actual Opto22 supports local Node-RED. So effectively, we can have a little flow where from the camera, it's taking the snapshots, and then via MQTT, we're able to go and pass over the actual information. So I should be able to also just show, via MQTT, we have some messages being captured, and every second we're getting an actual new snapshot coming in. So it's actually in base 64 encoded, so it just looks like a bunch of garbage, but it does actually come out to an image when we have it in the actual gateway. So we can log back into production, and you can see now both dev and production are both synced. So we have these new changes up here. So I can pull this up, pull the camera, and you can see we actually have a form of a live feed coming in on the camera here. So if I press home, you can see the camera is actually updating and passing through information. And it looks like there is a few things going on in there. Yep, and so I can just do, I'll just do a white just to show them off again, just so we can see what's actually happening. And our last little thing, which is for our Aussies watching back at home, we understand that like you've been watching and you haven't actually been able to see it upright. So we have a little feature here. I'm able to click it. And now But I will have to turn this back so everyone else can see. But yeah, that's our development.
Incredible. Thank you. Now, it's worth noting that for both teams, we did instruct them to use GitLab for doing their version control. So you'll see some similarities here, but excited to see how both teams have approached DevOps in different ways. And so for your presentation, can we get your next presenter? Awesome. Please introduce yourself.
Yep, my name is Christian Davis. I'm with BW Design Group. I've been with BW Design Group for about 5 years, focused on SCADA and data centers.
Perfect. All right. Take it away. Give it up for Design Group.
So this year we started to level up along with Ignition 8.3 and use a lot of the shiny new DevOps features, especially regarding version control and DevOps. So if you could share your screen. We're going to go ahead and talk about our GitLab pipeline that we use to do automated deployments to our dev and our production systems. So it all starts really with a YAML file that you use to configure what your GitLab pipeline will do. And you can define what actions are going to happen and when they're going to take place, what servers they're going to do, or what servers they're going to publish to, et cetera. Oh, no. And so we were able to leverage this functionality because GitLab allows you to store things like SSH keys and API keys that are external of the repository. So we're not storing that as plain text inside the repository, which allows us to SSH into these other servers and use Ignition's API functionality to additionally make calls against those gateways to allow us to produce certain functionality on the gateway automatically. So Keith, you want to go ahead and show the pipeline. So you can see that we've already published to our development environment. That's where we stage all of our changes so that we are not affecting our production environment. So we deploy to development, we check all of our changes. Once we're happy with all those changes, then we run the command to push to our production environment. Keith, if you wouldn't mind. And so essentially what this is doing is it's SSHing into the server itself in the cloud and moving those files over manually. Now, once those files are moved over, that's not really enough. So once the files are moved over, you need to additionally use Ignition's 8.3's new API features to configure a API call to trigger a config file scan and a project file scan. And so that will automatically deploy the updates and then bring the updates into the application. So here shortly, we should see our update in production. Still waiting. The joy of automated deployment. So one of the things that was really helpful during the process of our development, it was we were programming local on our machines. So that meant that we can have an entire sandbox to break things and do whatever we needed to develop a new feature. And so once that feature was pushed to our repository, we would go through normal Git protocols by reviewing and merging and doing all those sorts of things. Once we were merged, it was really easy to log into GitLab, send it off, deploy to development, and then validate our changes. Once we were happy with that, then it was really easy to also push to production. And so not only can we push our changes to production, but using EAM, we can actually deploy an API, or call an API rather, to deploy our changes to our edge gateway. So it is fully automated from merge to the HMI. So if we go back to our app, you can see we actually have a fourth tab over here. And so while there's a lot of data that is involved in many different industrial applications, many different industrial verticals, it's always really important to contextualize your data. So we use Apex charts as well. Everyone loves Apex charts. But you can see the customer volume by color. So you can see not only the total volume, but also the volume of certain colors. On the right-hand side in the pie chart, you can see just the overall volume of colors, abstract of specific customers. And then additionally, down below, you can see kind of some of our metrics on how many orders we did, what's the average processing time, and what is our success rate. And that'll do it.
Incredible.
Straightforward enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to note, it's pretty important to note that they did this in 2 days, and we provided them the infrastructure. We gave them a dev environment, a production environment, and a GitLab, and it was all empty. And both teams made this happen in 2 days. So just give that up for a round of applause for that. Yeah. We're gonna get ready.
All right, well, we've got the third presentation, the most exciting presentation left for you. It's gonna be broken into a couple parts. And you may have noticed that Travis and Kevin just left the stage. Finally, I get my own stage without them. No. But we actually have a plan. They are going to be coming out into the audience with some tablets, because another part of this challenge was that they needed to be able to receive orders to run some coins. And they are going to be using event streams to pull these in via MQTT so that they can add them to a queue and then be able to run these orders from that queue. And so that's a little bit of an explanation. Kevin, as you're out there, anything you would add to that? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I'm seeing people using an interface, putting in orders, sending them over MQTT, and in theory, they should be queuing up right now. From this one is BW Design Group. From that one over there, it's Travis, and we're getting 2 or 3 or 4 orders here. Who wants to put in the next one?
Yeah, in fact, if we can show the laptops up here, maybe one on each side if possible. I don't know if we can do that, but it would be interesting to see if these orders are coming in. Yeah, as these are coming in, oh, here we go. Perfect. So, in fact, teams, can you send your third presenter up and see if your queue shows up and you've got a specific screen that shows that? Can you navigate us to that screen?
Right, Dan. Come on.
And so I think for you guys, you're seeing that down at the bottom left, right for you. But yeah, you can see it there, and then we can see there now on that side panel, we've got some orders that have been put in. And for this challenge, we're gonna go ahead and run one. And so we're gonna go in the same order. So let's go ahead and have your final presenter come on up. From Safe Group, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Nigel, lead systems control engineer at Safe Group. In my spare time, I enjoy playing basketball.
There you go. I love basketball. Well, I really wish you luck now, but we're excited to go and see your presentation. Take it away.
All right, so we used event streams, which is one of the great new features in Ignition 8.3 to be able to bring in the MQTT data that you're now entering into the tablets. I'll give you a little quick demonstration of what that looks like. So in the designer over here, we can scroll down to the event streams, and we've got this queue input. This is actually looking for the order topic that is in the broker in the cloud, and when you're sending that, when you're setting that order, it's hitting our event stream, and then it's passing through. You can see there's events per hour coming through here. We've had 4 come through. We've also got some handlers here to try and avoid the wrong data from being passed in. Over here, you can see we've got quite a few coming through in the queue. Would you like me to run one?
Yeah, run one.
Okay. Let's see, what's an interesting one? Well, everyone's picked orange, it looks like. Okay, well, let's pick that one, and we'll click on the run order, and this will go home first. And I'll bring up the camera while we're there, hey, you know, it's pretty interesting. Little shout out to Kent as well. We've got one of his badges in there.
How'd you find one?
We have
I'm
our
still
ways.
waiting for mine.
Hiding in there away from the seekers. So yeah, that's as easy as it is.
Awesome. All right. You can sit down, but don't get too comfortable because we've got a second part for you in just a second. But we'd like to have Design Group now come on up, your third presenter. Introduce yourself, Keith.
Hi, my name is Keith Gamble. I'm a director of software engineering at Design Group. Big passionate Ignition lover and a fan of modern software engineering.
Perfect. Well, we're excited to see how you guys handle this. Take it away.
All right, if we want to get a screen pulled up there. So while that pulls up, really big shocker, we also used event streams to take this data from the MQTT broker. In a similar way, the MQTT broker, the iPad application they have is publishing a JSON topic to that broker. So we have an event stream that has an MQTT source subscribed to data from that broker. We're then ETLing that data into a Postgres database. And that gives us the ability to not only just take the work orders, but store it and have a little bit more historical information as well. Within our work order list, you can see we've got quite a few in there from our testing and also from right here. If Alex, you want to go ahead and run one. It's a mystery what color he picked, because I can't see it. And then while that is going on, we can actually also take a look at our historical orders that we've run. We have the ability to not only detect if they succeeded, but also if they failed. May be necessary if somebody was to e-stop this in the middle of it. We'd want to be able to track that, understand that batch failed, and that we wouldn't be able to do it, use it, we need to reuse it again. So we currently have 3 event streams within the application. We have one that is doing new order ingest from the broker. We have one that is doing order completion, and we have one that is doing order failure to track that. So. All right.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. Go ahead and stay at your stations. For this next part, we're going to have both teams come up at the same time, and they're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a race to see who can, wait, is something happening behind me? I feel like something's happening. You, what are you doing here? I knew you didn't have any real magic. Wait, what are you doing now? No. No, why? Why, guys, that was the cable we said we had to be careful with.
Yeah.
What are we going to do now?
Connected
now
everything.
that just cut off our connection to the cloud, to their projects.
But Kent, come on, man. It's Ignition, and that's everywhere from the edge to the cloud. We put the right architecture to protect this use case.
That's right. We've got local HMIs that both of the teams made, and they also had no idea this was going to happen.
That is true.
True story.
You may see some surprise up here. But we have now lost our connection to the cloud, and we are going to have them run their panels without their central projects. They're going to have to run them from their local HMIs directly on the front of the epics. But it's going to have to be, I got to highlight that for a second. They're going to be running it from directly on the front of the epics, which is a perspective application. Yes, you can run perspective directly on the front of a Groove epic. Isn't that epic? Is that too hard? Yeah, okay, yeah. Woo. So, but these guys didn't know this was gonna happen, and we are actually gonna have some operators that come and have to run it for them. And so we're gonna see how intuitive their HMI design is. And to have those operators come out on stage, we actually want to welcome from our inaugural Student Build-a-thon, this year's Student Build-a-thon champions. Come on out. That's right. Yes. Now, for those of you who may not be aware, in the springtime, we did a competition with a bunch of universities and colleges, and we invited people to come and try their hand at building an Ignition project over a weekend. And they were tasked with building a fast food POS system where they could place orders. And we are so excited that here today, we have the Clovis Crush team from Clovis Community College who came out on top. And so, yeah, give it up for them. Yes, undefeated. They've won every year we've hosted a student build-a-thon so far. But we do want to have you really quickly tell us your names, where you go, or your major, and something you love about Ignition.
My name is Robert Voss. My major is computer science, and my favorite thing about Ignition is Python scripting.
Nice.
My name is Matthew Graff. I'm an instructor, and what I like about Ignition is educational licensing.
My name is Benjamin Holloway. I'm a mathematics major, and my favorite thing about Ignition is its modularity.
My name is Gurkaran Singh. I am industrial automation major, and my favorite thing about Ignition is perspective.
Awesome. Give it up for our student build-a-thon. All right, well, so what we're going to do now is allow these teams to go and talk to your new operators that you've never met before. Maybe they've been around the conference a little bit. You may have run into them. If you haven't, you should go talk to them. They're great. But go ahead and you can get up and talk to your team right now. You can introduce them to your HMI that you guys built. You got to train them on how to use it. And while they're training, we do have a surprise for you. Not really a surprise. It's the worst kept secret in the world. We have a band, IA Department of Funk, and we like to make music videos. And so we do have another music video for you today, right now, while they're training them. Enjoy.
Factory SQL set free. Factory PMI takes stage. Java clients break the cage. 2010, the merge is done. Ignition's platform's #1. Vision module lights your view. SQL Bridge moves data through. Inductive University, Cirrus Links, MQTT, Edge arrives in 17, HMI and tag syncing, store and forward tags align, EAM keeps gateways fine, remote restore, central view, edge control for me and you. A brand new frame. Perspective takes the mobile game. HTML and CSS, responsive screens, no Java mess. OAuth SAML, login tight. Enterprise security's right. Project inheritance in tow. Standard builds begin to grow. Ignition leads where data flows. Every module, every line turns the gears of modern times. Cloud Edition hits the scene. Azure, AWS, so clean. Pay as you go, bundled tight. On-prem data can take flight. 8.3, the future's near. File-based storage now is here. Git control and JSON tags. Versioning without the drags. The core history applies. Time series data optimized. Offline mode for mobile crew. Ignition leads where data flows. Every module, every line turns the gears of modern times. Rise and build, connect and grow. Ignition leads where data flows. Every module, every line turns the gears of modern times.
Come on, guys, we gotta get back into the build-a-thon. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to ask our teams to come sit back down. You've had plenty of time to train your operators. And so now we'll see if they can handle it. We're going to go ahead and have the two teams run one at a time. We'll start off with Safe Group Automation's operations. Go ahead and let's go ahead and run a recipe. There it goes.
All right. It'll do it automatically.
All right, so you got it home. Let's go ahead and run a recipe now. I got to check what's going on here, folks. All right. Very nice. We were able to run purple. A successful launch there. All right. We'll kick it over to Team Design Group. Take it away. Also bringing it home. Perfect. Both teams passed with flying colors. Now, in case you thought that we were joking, no, we really did disconnect these from the cloud. In fact, if we could bring up the projects, we'd love to see both of their projects at this time to show that they are truly disconnected. I think you can see there are some red overlays. In fact, for Design Group, if I switch your view to another view here, come to like power statistics, you see some red overlays there on that screen as well. So these were really disconnected. We really were running locally directly on these panels just to show that you can have those local HMIs as a local client fallback and still run equipment. And shout out to Opto22 for having an incredible demo device for us, right? All right, we do want to allow both of our teams one last chance to sell you on why you are going to vote for them as the next 2025 Build-A-thon champions. And so for that, we got to get these back connected to the cloud. We want them to be able to use their applications to really win your vote as needed. And, you know, no one better to do that than Opto22. Opto22, come back out here. Let's get reconnected to the cloud. Let's see what we can do here. And I want to emphasize, Travis and Kevin, we don't need you to help us with this. You guys have done enough. Pretty sure you're scheming with the wizard. That's the only thing I can think of as why this might have happened next year.
Untrue.
Not true? We'll see. I think that'll do it, yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I'm rethinking my praise of Opto22, but I think they've got this in the bag. And so, oh, they say they're good. All right, well then let's go ahead and get started with these final presentations. We'll trust that these are connected back up to the cloud. And so we're gonna go ahead and give the time back over to Safe Group Automation so they can give us their final pitch. Take it away.
Oh, well, first of all, I'd just like to really thank Inductive Automation for putting on this amazing event. This has been a real privilege to be here and to be a part of everything that's gone on this last week. Also for the Opto22 guys for the amazing gear that they've made. I mean, it looks so good that we didn't really have to do much to make it look good. And also to BW Design Group, you guys have been really good sports. We've actually really enjoyed having a bit of banter with you, and it's been a good time. So, look, one last thing. I'm not sure if you did see it before, but we did have a little vote for SGA symbol showing in there on the camera. We subliminal messaging that perhaps, look, our design is I think it looks pretty awesome. The camera, hey, you know, who doesn't like a camera on things? It took us longer to get here than it actually did to build, the time we had to build. Sean and I were actually 30 hours to get here. You know, these guys have already got an orange jacket, so maybe it's somebody else's turn. So,
yeah, perfect. All right, and before we have you guys go, we're going to go ahead and let our student Build-A-thon members take off. Give them one more round of applause. Incredible operators. Thank you all. All right. BW Design Group, your final thoughts. Take it away.
Yes, I do have to 100% agree on everything that was just said there, right? It's been an amazing experience. It's a really awesome experience getting to be here 2 times, right? Getting to see what it's like and how it's evolved. You know, that is why, you know, we wanted to do whatever we could to level up the Build-A-thon itself. You know, putting a lot of focus into modern approaches, you know, how we could leverage 8.3 as much as possible. There was so much stuff that got used we didn't even really get to talk about. We got deep into deployment modes. We actually used the deployment modes for all of our local development, our dev and production environments. We were leveraging all of the REST APIs for doing things like config scan, project scan, EAM task execution, and being able to access the OpenAPI spec to see that stuff, extremely helpful. And so that definitely gets under, is the most important piece in our eyes of how to really push things forward, right? Leveraging what, you know, we would consider a best practice build, even in the, you know, the heat of battle, when you only have a day or 2 to do it. It shows just how easy 8.3 makes it to do that type of thing, and how it's really easy to continue to level up your Ignition projects.
Awesome. We'll give it up for both of these teams. Incredible project. All right, well, It's that time. It's time to vote for which team you think won this year's Build-A-thon, who will be crowned as our next Build-A-thon champions. You can go ahead and pull out the IA Events app, and you can go to ICC, you can go to the agenda, you can go to today, you can go to the Build-A-thon. Hopefully you remember all this from the practice earlier where you clearly said that your favorite part of the Build-A-thon was me, but now you get to vote for your champions. We'll give you a moment to do that.
And while that's going on, you may know that the winners will get these amazing orange jackets. And I know we have a few of the orange jackets here in the crowd. In the crowd, everybody who has one, can you stand up?
Yeah, please.
And be recognized, all the champions in the room.
Previous winners right around you. If you are one of those winners, please come up here at the end. We want to do a couple of pictures with everybody. So thank you very much.
Yep.
Perfect. Also, to give you a little bit more time to vote, many of you participated in this year's Community Design Challenge as part of ICC, where you were assigned to a team color, and we are excited to announce the results of that. In third place, we had Team Green with 1,235 experience, I won't say second yet. We'll go straight to first. Drum roll. Help me out. In first place, we had Team Blue with 1,615 experience points. That means Orange was in second with 1,320. Great job, everybody, but give it up for Team Blue. Woo. All right, well, with all that being said, Travis, Kevin, any last thoughts?
Well, these are two incredible projects, and I do think maybe Safe Group brought it home today.
Oh, I don't know. I think my vote might be with BW Design Group.
All right, well, good thing you guys don't get to decide because it'd be a split vote. But we'll see what the audience thinks. And so with that, I'm checking to see how that's going. Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and close voting in 10 seconds. It's your last chance. So go ahead, and we're going to help me count down. You ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. All right, polling is now closed. And so we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a second to tally those results. But, you know, it's interesting. It really is tricky to be one of these competitors. It has been interesting. They get to come early to the conference on Monday. And while everybody else is, you know, getting ready for the conference, they're sequestered in a room and are furiously building. They don't know ahead of time what panels they're going to have access to. They don't know what the challenge is going to be. And, you know, they really came in and did a great job. Tuesday, same thing. Everybody's starting the conference. They're sequestered in a room. But it is amazing to see the results that can happen. And I think Ignition truly is a great platform that allows people to make this kind of a project so quickly. Both of these teams are incredible. Let's give both a huge round of applause.
You know, it's also worth noting that 2 days doesn't actually mean what a lot of us engineers think of as 2 days, which is don't sleep at all that night and work through the whole thing. we kicked them out at 5 or 5:30 each one of the days, so it's 16 hours that was putting this together.
Exactly. Well, enough of celebrating both. There can only be one victor. Let's go ahead and find out who that victor is. And so, the next winner of the 2025 Build-A-thon is Safe Group Automation. Woo! Safe Group, come on down. It is, yes. And it is time for you to receive your orange jackets. Every year we have the jackets presented by last year's winners. And so let's go ahead and welcome out DMC. Come on out. And go ahead and present the jackets. Man, those jackets look good. Not as good as green, but orange is pretty good. But yes, I am excited to present to you our new 2025 Build-A-thon champions. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you all so much for coming out to this ICC. It truly has been a wonderful experience spending time with all of you. We enjoy you coming here and leveling up with us as we have experienced this new venue and so many new things at this conference. And we would just like to say, just as we've leveled up, we hope that leveling up doesn't stop here, but that you then go back home and in your projects, you go ahead and level up as well. And don't forget, it all starts with Ignition. Thank you.